Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, emotions roaring like a storm inside you. Anger, frustration, impulsiveness, ready to sweep you off balance and send your life spiraling into chaos. Now, imagine the power it takes to stand firm, unmoved, watching the storm with cold, precise calmness. This video will take you deep into the heart of Stoicism, revealing 10 powerful lessons that teach you how to master yourself with unshakable wisdom and emotional control. Because so many have lost everything, not to external forces, but to their own unchecked fury and impulsiveness. It's not just about suppressing emotion. It's about transcending it, understanding that the true battlefield is within. You'll discover why controlling your facial expressions is your first line of defense, how the slightest twitch can betray your feelings before you even speak a word. Time, often seen as an enemy in moments of crisis, becomes your greatest ally. Pausing to reflect before acting is the secret that saves you from regret. We'll expose the dangerous trap of anger, a sly emotion that drains strength and solves nothing, and the catastrophe of decisions made in wounded pride. Through it all, maintaining calm is not weakness, but the highest form of strength and respect. Commanding authority, not through loudness, but through serene presence. This journey is about becoming the silent observer, the one who watches provocations pass by like distant thunder, unaffected and clear-headed. It's about sharpening your focus and freezing your emotions in the moment, wielding silence as a weapon more powerful than any rebuttal. The transformation you'll witness is profound. The strongest among us are not those who explode or retaliate, but those who hold their ground, whose real power lies in ignoring distractions and remaining steadfast on their path. By the end of this video, you won't just understand what it means to act with cold precision and wisdom. You'll feel compelled to make it your own creed for life. Because true strength, as the Stoics teach us, is not in domination over others, but in mastery over oneself. This is the path from chaos to clarity, from reaction to reflection, from being controlled by emotion to being the master of your fate. 10 powerful lessons to act with cold precision and wisdom. 1. Master your facade. Why controlling facial expressions matters. 2. Time as an ally. The power of delayed reaction. 3. The hidden cost of anger. How fury steals your strength. 4. Pride's poison. Avoiding destructive impulsive decisions. 5. Calm as command. How serenity builds real authority. 6. The observer's advantage. How watching more means suffering less. 7. Focused discipline. Sharpening your mind against distractions. 8. The strength in silence. Using quiet to disarm provocations. 9. Ignoring the noise. Why true power lies in not reacting. 10. Steadfast on your path. The ultimate expression of emotional mastery. If this is making sense to you so far, like the video and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Because what we're about to discuss isn't just theory, it's a blueprint for enduring strength in a world that constantly tries to knock you off balance. We've talked about mastering your facade, using time as your ally, understanding the hidden cost of anger, avoiding pride's poison, and how calm can be your most powerful command. These aren't isolated techniques, but interconnected threads in the fabric of self-mastery. They lead us directly to our next crucial lesson, the power of stepping back. 6. The observer's advantage. How watching more means suffering less. Imagine a chess player who never looks at the whole board, only at their next immediate move. they're bound to be defeated. Life is infinitely more complex than a chessboard, and yet so many of us plunge into situations without a wider view, reacting to every immediate provocation. This is where the observer's advantage comes into play. Stoicism teaches us to be vigilant gatekeepers of our minds. When external events present themselves, whether it's an insult, a frustrating email, a tense family argument, or a crisis at work, most people immediately internalize it, turning it into personal suffering. They get on the stage of the drama, becoming an actor caught up in the emotional whirlwind. But the Stoic, the one cultivating cold precision and wisdom, chooses a different role, that of the observer. Instead of immediately reacting, you learn to step back mentally, to create a space between the event and your response. You watch the situation unfold, not as a participant whose emotions are entangled, but as a silent, detached spectator. Think of it this way. Your mind is a theater. Most people let every passing thought, every external provocation take center stage, demanding their full emotional response. The observer, however, sits in the audience. They see the play, they hear the lines, they understand the drama, but they don't jump onto the stage. They understand that what they are observing is merely an impression, a fantasia, as the Stoics called it, not necessarily a reflection of ultimate truth or a direct threat to their inner well-being. This doesn't mean you become passive or uncaring. Far from it. It means you gain clarity. When you observe a heated argument between colleagues, for instance, instead of immediately picking a side or getting caught in the emotional crossfire, you watch. You notice the body language, the unspoken grievances, the underlying insecurities driving the words. You see the patterns of human behavior, the predictable ways people react when their ego is challenged or their fear is triggered. In doing so, you suffer less. Why? Because most of our suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our judgments about those events and our emotional entanglement with them. Epictetus famously said, "It is not events that disturb people, but their view of them." When you observe, you delay judgment. You allow the initial emotional charge to dissipate. You gain perspective. A modern example. You receive a scathing email from a client or a superior. Your initial impulse might be a surge of anger, defensiveness, or hurt. If you immediately fire back a reply, you're likely to escalate the conflict or say something you regret. But if you take on the observer's role, you read the email, acknowledge the initial emotional flicker, but then step back. You watch your own reaction as if it were separate from you. You ask, what is truly happening here? Is this person genuinely malicious, or are they under pressure? Is this attack personal, or a manifestation of their own stress? By observing, you gather more information. You see beyond the surface. You avoid the trap of internalizing every barb or misstep. You recognize that much of the drama in life is a projection of others' internal states, not a direct assault on your worth. This detachment, this ability to watch the storm without being swept away by its current, is a profound source of inner peace and strategic advantage. It allows you to make decisions based on reason, not raw emotion, leading to responses that are precise, effective, and free from the hidden cost of unnecessary suffering. 7. Focused discipline, sharpening your mind against distractions. The ability to observe without reacting is a powerful tool, but what good is observation if your mind is a chaotic mess, unable to process what it sees? This brings us to focused discipline. the unwavering ability to sharpen your mind against the relentless onslaught of distractions that characterize modern life. In our hyper-connected world, our attention is the most valuable currency, and every app, every notification, every news headline is designed to steal it. We live in an era of constant partial attention, where our minds are fragmented, pulled in 100 different directions simultaneously. The Stoics understood that true strength isn't just about physical prowess. It's about mental resilience, and that starts with the disciplined control of your focus. The Stoic concept of prosoche, or attention, is central here. It's a continuous, vigilant awareness of our inner life, a constant checking of our thoughts, impressions, and impulses. It's about being present, truly present, with whatever you are doing, whatever you are observing, whatever you are thinking. Think about a crucial task at work, a difficult conversation, or even a moment of quiet reflection you desperately need. How often does your phone buzz, an email notification pop up, or a tangential thought about yesterday's argument derail your concentration? Each interruption is a tiny breach in your mental fortress. Over time, these breaches weaken your ability to think deeply, to solve complex problems, and to maintain emotional equilibrium. You become reactive to external stimuli rather than proactive in directing your own mind. Cultivating focused discipline means consciously directing your mental energy. It means creating boundaries around your attention. This isn't about ignoring the world. It's about choosing what parts of the world you allow into your inner sanctuary at any given moment. It's about being deliberate. For instance, when you are working on a project, truly work on it. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back. If an intrusive thought about a past mistake or a future worry arises, acknowledge it, but don't engage. Remind yourself, that is not what I am focusing on right now. This is an active, ongoing process, like training a muscle. Marcus Aurelius, emperor and Stoic philosopher, constantly reminded himself, confine yourself to the present. This wasn't a call for recklessness, but for intense focus on the task at hand, on the impressions of the moment, on what was within his control. He knew that scattering his attention meant scattering his power. The benefits are immense: clarity of thought, improved decision-making, greater productivity, and crucially, enhanced emotional regulation. When your mind is sharply focused on the present and on what truly matters, there's less room for anxiety about the future or regret about the past. Distractions feed anxiety. Focused discipline starves it. This focused discipline also extends to your emotional landscape. When you are provoked, your disciplined mind doesn't immediately jump to anger or fear. Instead, it holds the impression, examines it, and chooses a response. This sharpening of your mental faculties allows you to identify what is truly within your sphere of influence and what is merely noise, guiding you toward purposeful action and away from impulsive reactions. It is the ability to maintain a clear channel of thought, even when the world outside is broadcasting static, that allows for cold precision and wisdom to truly emerge. 8. The strength in silence, using quiet to disarm provocations. Having sharpened your mind and cultivated focused discipline, you now possess a powerful inner tool set. But how do you wield this in the external world, especially when faced with direct challenge or provocation? This leads us to the strength in silence, understanding that sometimes the most profound response is no response at all. We live in a culture that often equates loudness with strength, verbosity with intelligence, and immediate retaliation with courage. From social media arguments to heated debates in the workplace, there's an almost irresistible urge to respond, to justify, to defend, to have the last word. But the Stoic understands that this impulse is often a trap, a pathway to losing control, not gaining it. Silence, wielded strategically, is a weapon more potent than any rebuttal. It's not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of supreme self-control and confidence. When someone attempts to provoke you, an insult, a sarcastic remark, a baseless accusation, they are actively seeking a reaction. They want to draw you into their emotional arena, to make you play by their rules, to disrupt your inner calm. By choosing silence, you deny them that power. You refuse to grant their words the dignity of an immediate emotional response. You don't let their external chaos dictate your internal state. This is an act of defiance against the impulse to react, a conscious decision to maintain your inner citadel inviolate. Consider a scenario. A colleague publicly criticizes your work, perhaps unfairly or with an aggressive tone. Your heart might race, your face might flush, and a dozen retorts might form on your tongue. The immediate, untrained response is to lash out, to defend yourself vociferously. But what does that achieve? Often, it escalates the conflict, makes you appear defensive or emotional, and validates the provocateur's attempt to destabilize you. The Stoic response, imbued with the strength of silence, looks different. You receive the criticism. You observe your internal reaction without letting it dictate your outward expression. You take a breath. You maintain eye contact. You say nothing immediately. This silence, with deliberate pause, does several things. 1. It disarms the aggressor. They were expecting a fight, an immediate counterattack. Your silence disrupts their script, leaving them without an immediate target for their aggression. It forces them to confront their own words in the void you've created. 2. It projects confidence. Someone who is truly secure in themselves doesn't need to justify every action or retort every slight. Your calm silence communicates an unshakable inner core, a quiet authority that doesn't rely on noise. 3. It creates space for reason. The silence gives you time. Time to process the information, to separate the emotion from the facts, to formulate a considered, strategic response rather than an impulsive one. Seneca, a master of Stoic thought, advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Silence is a powerful form of delay. 4. It shifts the burden. The provocateur's words hang in the air, uncommented upon. The pressure shifts to them. Did they go too far? Was their comment truly warranted? Your silence can expose their immaturity or malice more effectively than any counter-argument. This isn't about being passive or allowing yourself to be walked over. It's about choosing your battles, choosing your words, and choosing your timing with surgical precision. It's about understanding that your true power lies in controlling your response, not in controlling the other person's behavior. When you respond with silence, you are declaring without a single word that you are the master of your own emotional domain, unswayed by external attempts to destabilize you. This quiet strength is the mark of true wisdom. 9. Ignoring the noise, why true power lies in not reacting. Building upon the strength found in silence, and the focus cultivated through discipline, we arrive at an even broader principle. Ignoring the noise. This isn't merely about strategic silence in specific confrontations, but a fundamental stance toward life's constant cacophony. True power, the Stoics teach us, lies in refusing to react to anything that falls outside your sphere of genuine influence, anything that is merely noise. Think of the modern world, a ceaseless torrent of information, opinions, judgments, criticisms, and trivialities. Social media trends, sensationalized news, office gossip, the complaints of strangers, the ever-present drone of advertising. It's an overwhelming symphony of distraction and demands on your attention. Most people are swept up in this current, reacting to every ripple and wave, allowing external events and others' opinions to dictate their inner peace and their direction. The Stoic perspective offers liberation. It recognizes that much of what clamors for our attention is simply noise, irrelevant, unhelpful, and ultimately beyond our control. Our time, our energy, and our mental peace are finite resources. To spend them reacting to every piece of external static is to squander our most precious assets. This principle is deeply rooted in the Stoic concept of the inner citadel, a mental fortress you build within yourself that is impervious to external attacks. Marcus Aurelius spoke of retreating into this inner self, a place where tranquility could always be found, regardless of the chaos outside. This citadel isn't built by fighting every external battle, but by choosing not to engage in those that are not yours to fight, by discerning what truly matters from what is merely distracting. Consider the deluge of opinions about you, your choices, or your work. In the age of instant feedback and public platforms, everyone has a take. If you react to every positive affirmation, your ego swells. If you react to every negative comment, your spirit sags. But neither reaction is productive. True power lies in recognizing that the validity of your actions and the worth of your character are not determined by the ever-shifting sands of public opinion. When you ignore the noise, you are asserting your autonomy. You are saying, my direction, my values, and my peace of mind are too important to be derailed by external chatter. This isn't arrogance, it's self-preservation. It's understanding that dedicating mental and emotional energy to things you cannot control or influence is a form of self-sabotage. A practical example. Imagine you are pursuing a long-term goal, starting a business, changing careers, developing a new skill. Along the way, you will inevitably encounter skepticism, criticism, and even outright mockery from others. The noise could be, "That's too risky. You're not good enough. Why bother?" If you react to every one of these, you will be constantly diverted, defending yourself, losing momentum, and eventually giving up. Ignoring the noise means maintaining a laser-like focus on your path. It means acknowledging that others' opinions often stem from their own fears, limitations, or lack of understanding, and are rarely about you. It means you choose not to internalize the judgments of those who are not walking your path, nor contributing to your growth. This selective engagement is a profound act of self-empowerment. It frees up your cognitive and emotional resources to concentrate on what truly falls within your sphere of influence. Your actions, your judgments, your character, and your progress toward your chosen purpose. It allows you to filter out the irrelevant, to remain emotionally unruffled by provocations, and to direct your energy toward constructive efforts. In a world clamoring for your reaction, the true power, the cold precision, lies in the sovereign choice not to react, but to remain steadfast on your chosen course. Abin 10. Steadfast on your path, the ultimate expression of emotional mastery. We have journeyed through the intricate landscape of self-mastery, from controlling our outward expressions to disarming provocations with silence and ignoring the ceaseless noise of the world. All these lessons converge on one ultimate destination, one profound outcome: becoming steadfast on your path. This is the ultimate expression of emotional mastery, the pinnacle of living with cold precision and unwavering wisdom. To be steadfast on your path means to be unshakable in your commitment to your chosen principles, your virtues, and your purpose, regardless of the storms that rage around you or the emotions that stir within you. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about meeting them head-on, anchored by an inner compass that never wavers. Life is not a smooth, predictable journey. It is a relentless series of ups and downs, successes and failures, joys and heartbreaks. External circumstances will constantly try to push you off course. Provocations will test your patience. Setbacks will challenge your resolve. Your own emotions, fear, doubt, frustration, even fleeting anger, will try to convince you to abandon your chosen route. But the Stoic, having cultivated emotional mastery, understands that true strength is not the absence of these challenges or emotions, but the ability to feel them, to acknowledge them, and yet to remain firmly committed to what is right and what is truly important. You become like the captain of a ship navigating a tempest. The waves crash, the wind howls, the hull groans, but the captain's hand remains firm on the rudder, eyes fixed on the distant shore, never losing sight of the destination. Being steadfast means your virtue is your guide. The Stoics identified 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, the knowledge of what is good, bad, or indifferent; justice, fairness in dealing with others; courage, facing adversity with integrity; and temperance, self-control and moderation. These aren't abstract ideals. They are the very fabric of your path. When you are steadfast, you align your actions with these virtues, even when it's difficult, even when it's unpopular, even when it costs you something. Consider a modern example. You have committed to a personal growth goal, perhaps a demanding fitness regimen, a rigorous study program, or building a creative endeavor. There will be days when you are tired, when motivation wanes, when self-doubt whispers in your ear. There will be distractions, temptations, and perhaps even ridicule from those who don't understand your ambition. To be steadfast means that on those days you don't falter. You recall the disciplined focus, the power of ignoring the noise, the understanding that your feelings are not your master. You choose to act in accordance with your purpose, not your fleeting mood. You continue to put one foot in front of the other, understanding that consistency, even in small steps, is the ultimate force that builds greatness. This isn't coldness for the sake of it. It is a profound warmth of conviction. It is the deep, satisfying knowledge that you are living authentically, that you are congruent with your highest self. It means you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond and how you choose to be. The ultimate freedom, as the Stoics understood, is not freedom from external difficulties, but freedom within them. It is the freedom to choose your character, to choose your response, and to choose your direction, come what may. This inner resilience, this unwavering commitment to your ethical compass, is the highest form of emotional mastery. It means you are not merely reacting to life. You are actively, deliberately, and wisely shaping your destiny. You are not tossed by the waves. You are the rock upon which the waves break. The journey we've taken together has revealed that true strength isn't found in dominance over others, but in the absolute mastery of oneself. It's about becoming the silent observer, the disciplined mind, the calm commander, the unwavering, steadfast soul. It's about understanding that the external world can only truly disturb you if you grant it permission to enter and wreck your inner peace. Remember what we started with. Standing at the edge of a cliff, emotions roaring like a storm. The Stoic path doesn't promise to make the storm disappear. It promises to teach you how to stand firm, unmoved, watching the storm with cold, precise calmness, because the true battlefield is within. As Seneca wisely declared, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. This isn't a destination you arrive at and then stop. It's a continuous practice, a lifelong commitment to becoming the most resilient, wise, and precise version of yourself. So, I leave you with this question. Having glimpsed the path from chaos to clarity, from reaction to reflection, from being controlled by emotion to being the master of your fate, what will be your next deliberate step? If this message resonated with you, if it offered even a glimmer of the clarity you seek, please do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel for more insights into living a life of wisdom and strength. And leave a comment below sharing which of these 10 lessons you find most challenging or most impactful. Your engagement helps this message reach more people who, just like you, are seeking to master themselves in a chaotic world. Thank you for watching.